Hi everyone and welcome to Caravel Gaming. This is Boomer and I'm here with Maddy.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be going through an arena of yours.
Yes, this was a pre-release. I think it's gonna be the last pre-release video on Caravel Gaming, if I'm correct.
I think so. And of course, you being controversial here, you're being offered Mage, Druid and Paladin and you take Druid.
Yep, I don't choose the best pick, but I choose the one that I like the most. So, and that's Druid, definitely not the OP classes.
I mean, I suppose the fact you've got 3,500 gold means that you can make a couple of dodgy picks.
Yeah.
Starting off fairly expensively here, but I think we're pretty much taking the best card. Yeah, that's a swipe. Take that.
Yep, and this is an interesting choice because I don't really want a second Brewmaster because it's, too big of a tempo loss.
Yeah.
And Mark of Nature is just stupidly bad, so
Yeah.
Frostwolf Grunt it is.
Wow, this pick sucks.
Yep, especially with me having a lot of late drops.
Yeah, Claw seems good there. Oh, that's a bit of a tough one.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, but
I love a Kodo. I do like a Kodo.
yeah.
And we don't have enough early drops at the moment for the defender to be that good. I think we're
Yeah, that was my thought.
I think we're going to be emergency picking early drops rather than...
Yeah, but not over Card Master. Look at this one.
God, that's awful.
I guess I have to pick the Savage Roar here.
I think so. I mean, it's not great.
Even though my deck really doesn't suit it, so it's not like a fast deck that I can, just turn 6 or 7 Savage Roar and kill the opponent. So,
yeah,
some fairly obvious picks.
Still taking pretty much the best card at the moment. Harvest Golem's quite nice. We don't have any 3-drops at this point. So, were you thinking about innovating into a 4-drop potentially here?
Yeah, or maybe even innervating into a 5 or a 6 drop. Because on, turn 3 with the coin, I can innervate into a 6 drop, but I think innervate is just such a bad card. Basically you use 2 cards to get 1 minion on the board.
Yeah.
So you have to do 4-1 with that card to make it even value, which is, I don't like that.
I mean, you can kind of see it in Constructed where you get like the turn 2 or 3 Druid of the Claw coming out.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different because, it's constructed. It's less about the value of your actual hand because you can have all the card show you want in constructed.
And boy,
although not with that big a nerf.
Nice choice here.
Yep, probably the 3 verse rares in the game.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, yeah, Corsair's probably the best of them, but I mean, that's when you know something's gone badly wrong, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yikes. This, we've got a bit of a bell curve going on as far as our mana goes at the moment. Again, potentially a place where you might think about wild growth, or are you just never going to pick that pretty much ever?
I am never going to pick wild growth. It's just, I don't think it gets the value back.
Okay.
Often enough. And also, my curve seems pretty good, so I don't think I need wild growth that much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because it's smoothened out from the, innervate pick.
Yeah, it did smooth out a little bit, so there wasn't too much of a disaster going on there. It could have been a lot worse than it was, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but I still have a lot of bad minions.
Oh yeah, you've got a lot of work to do. It's like those swipes have got a lot of work to do in this deck,
yeah.
I think.
Also, I have 2 Kodos, which is pretty good, but I have to get there, and my early game minions are really bad.
Yeah, the Kodos will help you get back what you've lost in the early game.
Yeah.
Or at least you'd hope they would. That's the goal, I suppose.
And I come up against a pretty bad matchup with Hunter because, Hunter has the early game, most likely.
Most likely, yeah. I mean, that's fine. You're not too bothered about that.
Yeah, that's...
Just going to coin into Shapeshift?
Yeah, I mean, it's free value. And, I took 1 damage from it, so it was basically a 1 mana deal 1 damage to your opponent. Which is... and get the coin out. But...
So it was worse than Moonfire, good.
Yep.
I've got to admit that I was quite happy when I saw that this video was one of Druid, because I've got to admit myself, I mean, for those of you who've been following the Let's Learn Hearthstone the Hard Way series, I've now done, I think yesterday was my 20th solo arena that I did, and I haven't been offered Mage the last 15 times. So it was something where, like, yeah, good Druid arena, because I'm pretty much having to play like Druid and Shaman constantly at the moment. Except when I'm offered like Warrior, Priest, and Warlock.
Yeah.
Out of those three, which one would you actually pick?
What was the three?
Warrior, Priest, Warlock, if you're offered that three.
Personally, I like Warlock from, or not Warlock, the Priest from these.
Yeah.
I don't think Priest is actually, well, one thing's for sure, those three are the worst arena classes.
Yeah.
I'd pick Hunter over them.
Yeah. I think Priest is officially the worst. If you were to go by like statistics and win rates, I think it's
Well, it really
worst,
depends on your playstyle. For example, I think for Trump, it's one of the best.
Well, yeah, because you just get 3 power word shields and value your opponent to death with it. You know, I think that Priest relies massively on power word shield.
Yeah, it does.
Also, I was actually watching,
And Holy Novas, obviously.
Yeah, I was actually watching one of Trump's videos today, and it was. And so he said, if you could print any one card to make Priest better, what would it be? And he said a shadow word kills something that has 4 power.
Yeah.
Because that's like the problem with Priest. Someone makes a Yeti, and it's like, yeah, that's very, very difficult for me to deal with now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's definitely, from my experiences in Arena so far, it does seem to be like there's a bit of there is an imbalance between the classes. But Blizzard have said, and Ribbo has said this on Murlocs.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
I have a swipe in hand.
This swipe seems quite good, yeah.
I was considering swiping phase, but I think swiping one of the 2 health minions is better.
Yeah, that's fine, and you can like finish the other one off and keep your Blood Cell Raider alive.
Yeah.
Seems like he was
also. Sorry, but viewers might have noticed that even though I had the mana for it, I didn't play any minions beside the 2/3, and that's because his hand seemed really controlly, and I didn't want to play into multi-shot. So because that would have 2/4 me basically all the way. So.
Or really big Unleash the Hounds. That's the other thing that it could potentially be.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm not that afraid of Unleash when I have 2 minions on board, but multi-shot would definitely wreck my day. So.
Yeah. I do like how you're very deliberate with how you're placing cards. Like one of the definite criticisms of my play is that I'm way too fast.
Yeah.
Playing, and you can just sometimes make really bad decisions because you're playing too quickly.
Yeah, also you have to look out for Hunter's explosive shot.
Yeah.
So that's also a thing.
Plenty of things we can do here.
Yeah, I think Argusing will be the play here.
More than likely.
And hero powering, I think. Yeah, that should be the one. Oh, I actually made an even better play, playing the Frostwolf Grant first and Argusing up those 2. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Means that he can't kill your Dire Doggy.
Yeah, and I also don't have to attack with the Dire Doggy into the 3/1.
Yeah.
Oh, did I decide to do that? That would be interesting. I think I should just go face here. The thing is, I'm a little bit weak to Unleash because that lets the 7/5 through.
Yeah.
And I'm also weak to Explosive Trap. But, yeah. I think at this point I'm fine.
Oh. Gonna take down his taunt. Right, so when the trap doesn't trigger, we're looking at explosive or...
No, actually the trap not triggering only means that it's not a snake trap.
Ah, right.
Because it wouldn't have freeze trapped me. Yeah, it is a freeze trap. yeah, it looks like I played around it quite nicely. So yeah. I should put down the Bloodsail Corsair as well because, you know, he's top decking and I need the Savage Shore. The minions for the Savage Shore, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and I probably show that I have lethal next turn with the Savage Shore and the Dire Toki.
Yeah.
Obviously not now, but but actually Bloodsail Raider getting value, so
Yeah.
that's a rare sight.
Yeah, Bloodsail Raider actually trading for something. And for those of you who are watching, I do not have this video in slow motion. Maddy really is that deliberate.
Oh, so you say I'm slow? Okay.
Well, don't forget, like, Ribbo's made a career out of the past, like, 5 months of calling people out on slow play.
Yeah, that's true. And once again, I don't consider this BM because, you know, it gets me XP, so...
Well, plus you're against a hunter and it's okay to BM a hunter anyway.
No, it's not okay. Everyone that picks Hunter is cool because the Hunter is, you know, set to be the worst arena class, so...
Well, alright, maybe a Mage and a Pally. Can you BM them?
I like to BM them. I'm sad to admit, but I like to BM mages. Not necessarily Pallies, because, you know, it's like... It's still not a mage.
I wanted to BM a Pally I was up against yesterday. It's like, completely and utterly dead on board. How about Tyrion off the top? Okay, so you're not dead on board then.
Yeah.
Like, that card, it's like, wow. You know, I don't really...
Yeah, it's actually not that good in constructed. Because, you know, basically the best hero to play Tyrion against is Paladin. So if you have a Faceless Manipulator versus the Paladin's Tyrion, it's game over.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Spiteful Smith, Frostwolf Grunter. We have average minions. I mean, I know you're a big fan of Spiteful Smith.
Yeah, I think Spiteful Smith is awesome. Like, you know, it's a Yeti with +1 health for +1 mana.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely fine since Yeti is OP as hell, so...
I mean, it might be that just, and you know, occasionally Spiteful Smith has this ability which just, you know, turns your weapon into a death machine. Okay, so we've got Frostwolf Grunt here. That Bloodsail Corsair wasn't really the best top deck you could have ever made.
Actually, it's not that bad because if he makes Stormforged X here, I can use it next turn and hero power.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I'm expecting from a... what do you call that? A Shaman turn, too?
Yeah. Well, you didn't have it, so you're just putting the Corsair out and taking the damage off the ooze, I guess, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to attack the Bloodsail Corsair, then it dies. And... Actually, he should have attacked first.
Yeah, he didn't attack with his ooze. That seems like a pretty big mistake there.
Yeah, and also it lost him so much tempo.
Yep.
The question is, I take the Brewmaster route or, you know, I play my own bigger version.
Yep, big Brewmaster.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate there's no combo really with Bloodsail Corsair, but... I mean, what's the other weapon that Shaman... It's Doomhammer, isn't it? That's the other weapon.
Yeah, Doomhammer.
With its, like, 8... No, it's like, it's 8... Oh, boy. I mean, the Kodo is going to kill that, but...
Yeah, I think it's a... Well, it wasn't really a mistake because that way he could took out my Brewmaster.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's not necessarily the best to... Put down a Flametongue Totem for just 1 minion.
Yeah. I mean, when I've played Shaman and had them, I've generally tried to use Flametongue Totem as basically either a, you know, the old conga line sort of thing going on, or, you know, using it to just end the game, basically, or take care of something that I just couldn't take care of otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure that a 5/4's that, so threatening that you need to that you absolutely have to use a flame tongue totem on it.
And at this point, I feel like I can play the Glacial Corsair because nothing. There's nothing in my hand that he could use the X for, so
Yeah.
he's probably not gonna put it down. And that 7/6 is really threatening, and he gets the Taunt Totem. So
Yeah. Bad things are bad, but we can take it out.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best idea. I should attack with my 1/2 and hero power it down, probably.
Yeah.
And I can use the, my other 5/5 and the Elven Archer next turn. Yeah, that's exactly what I should do. To clear that, or even I can sack my 1/2 into it because that's not gonna get value, most likely.
Yeah. And here we already see the worst thing that can happen to a venture company mercenary.
Well, I think it's humility actually, or Peacekeeper.
Oh yeah. That's
because you can't even kill that off.
Yeah. Wow, that's not something you want to be casting for 6 mana.
That's not something you want to cast, like, period.
Well, yeah, true, but I'm trying to cast some sort of light on it here. It's a pity you don't have a Geomancer or something like that to go with it.
Yeah, but I think it's still pretty good because I can swipe and Argus on the same turn.
Yeah.
So I can actually keep my 5/5 alive.
Yep, sounds good.
I can also Starfall and Elven Archer the 7/6.
Yep, that keeps your guy around as well. Really important, just try and keep that 5/5 as intact as we can. Because obviously, like, Shaman's removal's pretty much... Well, it's got Hex, I suppose, but if he had it, he'd have used it already. So, like, Shaman's removal is very much damage-based.
Yeah.
So, you're trying your best to sort of keep your big guys intact.
Yeah, and I should actually... That's a mistake.
Yeah, I should do it the other way around, because
definitely.
This way opens you up to Lightning Storm, or Lightning Bolt, or, Spell Power Totem, something else.
Yeah, that definitely was a mistake.
These are all things that I'm learning bit by bit. As I move in, start playing Hex or whatever, But...
And the second lose.
Rocketeer, otherwise known as the Bad Argent Commander.
I should use Dark Iron Dwarf here for sure. Or Argus. I think both are fine.
Yep.
I think I should actually play Crusader into Argus into hero power and clear his board.
Sounds good.
Swipe would be a mistake here.
Yeah, it'd be a waste here to swipe, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But your mouse is definitely going over it, isn't it?
Oh, that's an interesting play.
Wow, just committing to the board.
Yeah, I actually don't like that because if he has mind control attack, I'm pretty screwed.
Well, not if he takes you 1/1. You're okay if that happens.
Yeah, but all the other 3 are pretty bad for... Well, if he takes a 2/3, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah. But he gets value back, so...
But mind control tech, is it epic mind control tech?
It's rare. It's rare. So he might actually have it.
That's a bit awkward.
Only if he casts Hex on the 5/4.
I love that combo. I love that combo so much. Okay.
And because Bloodlust, I'm not sure why he totemed first.
Yeah.
Because if he goes for the spell power one, okay, totem first, and maybe sack it if it's a 1/1. But this way, I'm really not sure what.
That seems like he got nothing out of that Bloodlust. He killed a Booty Bay bodyguard with that Bloodlust. That doesn't seem like the best use of it.
And also took the Divine Shield off, which is,
It's something, but,
Yeah.
it's not... Bloodlust usually should be used to either finish the game or kill everything on your opponent's side of the board.
Yeah.
So there's definitely not getting value out of his hand there.
But he has this second fire elemental, so
It's what shamans do, double fire elemental, double earth elemental. That's pretty much what I do with shaman. It's like every shaman arena where I've gone over 7 wins has usually involved multiple fire elementals.
Yeah, I couldn't take this. Well, I could have taken the 6-5 off without losing value, but
I think it was
that
fine doing it that way.
yeah, I mean he has 4 cards in hand, so if he has an Earth Elemental, that's the only big problem. And with a 5-6 on board, that's not even that big of a problem.
Yeah.
So and the Froststroke for 2.
Yep. Unfortunately, you'll see a lot of those in my shaman decks as well. Having said that, though, if you get a head on board, it's generally fine because shaman's top end is quite powerful. So that one freeze can occasionally be enough to get you through.
Yeah.
Because if you, for example, you make like fire elemental, then you make like Boulder Fist Ogre and freeze their one guy, then all of a sudden they're going to end up dead very quickly. So. It has its uses. It's still not that good. I'd rather have Frost Elemental, obviously, but
Yeah, I think it's comparable to Sap.
Yeah, probably.
In a way, because it's worse even because it just freezes. But
yeah, I mean, it's one of those cards. I think you're kind of right, where it's like Sap, where it's basically a third fire elemental, where it's basically where it's basically a case of. Yeah, you top deck the swipe, so you still win. What are you complaining about? But
well, I would have won with Claw Hero Power anyway, so...
Okay, do that then. But, almost lost my... I think I lost my train of thought a little bit there. But yeah, we had a couple of comments on the channel recently regarding sort of Sap and cards like that, where it's basically... They're cards which help you stay ahead when you're ahead, but they don't do anything to get you back in the game if you're behind.
Well, it can do something because, like, imagine that the Shaman plays an Earth Elemental, for example, on an empty board, and you can just sap it and, throw your minions out on turn 8 or something like that. But, yeah, the thing with sap is it doesn't get any value.
Yeah.
In terms of card advantage.
The only time where it can potentially get some is if for example, is if a Pally's buff something with Blessing of Kings.
Yeah.
Because the blessing falls off when you send it back to hand, so...
Yeah, it's basically a silence for spells.
Yeah.
Like for additional spells or buffs. But yeah, that's a very rare occasion to get value from sap.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't count on that, so...
Yeah, I generally don't depend on it either. I think that it's I think you're much better off. Doing other things on that front. You're much better off, pretty much. Well, I suppose we'll be going into this when we do the rankings for Arena, but I think that for Rogue, Sap would be pretty low.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be weird because I think the best cards are pretty well known, but it's going to be like the stuff that you pick up when you don't have the option of picking up the best cards. That's going to be the more interesting stuff.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, you're a shaman, fire elemental is good, who knew?
Sinister Strike or Vanish.
Oh, God.
That's the main question.
Oh, wow. What's the third card?
There is no Wisp.
Oh, God.
I may even take the Wisp there. But...
Yeah, it's like, I can combo something with the Wisp, can't I?
Yeah.
Go on, swipe the Gnomish Inventor.
No, I think I should make the Violet Teacher, because if he attacks into the Bloodsail Corsair here, then I can Claw Hero Power next turn to...
Yeah, and you've still got the coin as well, so...
Yeah.
Violet Teacher can get a lot of value out of it.
And you know,
we wait.
consecration is not a huge deal here.
Well, if he consecrates to kill off a Blood Cell Corsair, I'd consider that a victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same way if you'd have swiped Gnomish Inventor. I'm pretty sure that's huge victory for him.
Let me think.
But yeah, I think you're actually right when it comes to arena play. It's generally that, you know, Mage and Pally, I think, probably are the most powerful classes, but they're probably... I don't know if it's fair to say they're the easiest classes to play, but they're the ones which don't require too much in the way of actual hardcore knowledge about the game. It does to get the most out of the classes, but that's the case of all the classes. But I think that classes like Priest and Hunter and things like that generally require you to know quite a bit about the classes before you play them.
Yeah, that's one thing, and the other is that I guess they're not just easier to play, but also kind of more intuitive to play.
Yeah, but
So you know, they don't have that kind of depth, I think.
I mean, there are definite mistakes that you can make as a mage. The biggest one for me is just loading your deck up on spells. I think,
And using them on your opponent.
well, yeah, but, you know, it's like, for example, when you play against a mage in arena and it, you know, you just it ends up fireballing your Raging Worgen or something like that, and then fireballs your next drop as well, and you're like, great, my 6 and, you know, my high drops are now free from fireball, and that's where I'm going to beat a mage for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not gonna beat a mage in the early game, you know, because they have too powerful of a. Certainly, in terms of their late game, they have way too powerful of a late game for me to be, you know, to sort of try and rush them down early, unless you've got like a hunter, you know, a hunter style of rush. You know, I'd still think that Mage and Pally are definitely the most powerful arena classes, but I also think that they probably lend themselves a bit more to. They lend themselves a bit more to, I wouldn't say noob play, but, you know, like more inexperienced players.
Yeah, definitely. And here comes the problem with Imp Master. It's just, you know, swipe is just so good against it.
Yep, true.
And I can just swipe hero power, clear the board.
That blood cell finally
Yeah,
finally let the blood cell Corsair go. It's had a, you know, it's survived until turn 7, so it's had a, you know, it's had a pretty good run at it, I've got to say.
And actually, that's why I played it turn 1, because you could argue that it's pretty good against True Silver Champion, because, you know, he uses it once and that's it. And that Sunwalker's annoying.
Yeah, that's more than annoying. I would classify that way above annoying.
Yeah. So, but you know, Perry should have no minions on board ever. So, I guess I have to sack everything I have into it.
To be fair, I haven't seen too many Blessing of Kings recently. It's
No,
really strange. I've played against a lot of Paladins, and I've only seen like 1 Blessing of Kings. I've seen like 9 million True Silver Champions, but I've not seen any Blessing of Kings.
Yeah, I think Blessing of Kings is actually not that strong.
I mean,
Like, it's a 5 mana 4/4 or a 4 mana 4/4. So
it's usually a 2 for 2 for
Yeah.
the most part, because usually you either Blessing of Kings, you either Blessing of Kings something, kill something, and then they kill your guy back, trading another guy for it. So it's usually a 2 for 2. The times when it's absolutely nuts, it really is nuts. You know, that's the thing. It's, I mean, I've definitely had games as Pally where I've gone, you know, I've gone like turn 3 Raging Worgen, turn 4 Blessing of Kings it, and just beat the living crap out of them. And then like shield it up with an Argent Protector and just won. You know, it's like, but you know those draws are sort of few and far between, and sometimes Blessing of Kings can be a little bit clunky. I still think you take it over you take it over a lot of things.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But the thing is that since now it's kind of common knowledge that you should take out all of the Pele's cards or minions, it's kind of a win more card at the moment.
Like, Argent Protector doing what it does. And True Silver Champion as well, wow.
Yeah, it feels like a loss at this point, although I have Starfall, but I still have no... Oh, I actually have the coin in hand. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're still down on both tempo and cards here, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean he's got 5 cards or 5 effective cards, and I have 3. So.
Yeah.
We're not down on life at the moment, but we will pretty soon probably because Paladin can heal himself.
Yeah. The old Guardian of Kings or something like that.
Or just Holy Light. Like at this value advantage, he can even play Holy Light.
Yeah, but let's not discuss playing terrible cards.
It's actually not necessarily that terrible if you play it on minions. It can get you value.
It's like, it costs 2, doesn't it, Holy Light?
Yeah. And like, it's 6 health, so you know you just attack with the ogre and heal it up. That's basically a free card.
But then you like Power Word Shield costs costs 1 and draws a card. But then again, priests are better at healing than paladins are. So
yeah.
Valueless Kodo.
And I think I have to actually freeze the 4/5 not to get killed here next turn. Because now he has 9 damage on board.
Yeah.
I can, yeah. So
you can
now
take
he
out
has
his 1/1 for free, yeah, so.
But it's pretty dire for me at the moment.
Yeah, especially since that Panther's in stealth, so I don't see him using it until he can actually kill you.
Yeah, and the Stormwind Champ.
Awkward.
And the abusive Sergeant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a pretty standard versus Paladin match.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah. He didn't consecrate you or anything, but...
Yeah, but True Silver and Argent Protector did the job.
Yeah, Argent Protector's just nuts. So good.
Yeah, I mean, it gave him a free 6 mana drop.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
He exchanged... I mean, he didn't even exchange it because he still had a 2/2, you know. It was like, so he just for 2 mana cleaned up your 6-drop and had a 2/2 in play.
Yeah. Like, compare it to, like, Ironforged Rifleman, which is 3 mana 2/2, deal 1 damage.
Yeah.
I don't think they're comparable.
Not really. Like, well, hopefully things are going to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
We're up against a rogue. Squishing the watermelons again.
And actually, 2/3s are pretty good versus rogue, because he cannot just backstab kill them. He has to backstab, make a weapon, kill them, and then the weapon is unusable for deadly poison. So
yeah,
that's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And there goes the backstab, I think.
Oh no, it's coining.
Nope. Coining into deadly poison. Okay.
Okay. So he did have it. Our choices, I always hate these sort of choices, you know, where you've got something and you know it's going to die, so...
Yeah, I think it's actually good because next turn I can probably claw and hero power something down like this one because there's actually no 4 health minion at 3.
Ooh.
Oh, Bloodsail Corsair, that's pretty good.
It got his
So-
deadly poison.
Yeah, it actually got value. Well, it didn't get
They didn't
value.
get that much value. It got something.
Yeah, but it prevented a 2-for-1, which is basically value.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get back, I can probably kill something on turn 4 with Claw Hero Power, and then he plays maybe a Gnomish Inventor or something that I can Kodo.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily play a good turn
The,
4 minion.
the disadvantage of Gnomish Inventor there, really. It
Well,
is underpowered for a 4-drop, playing it on turn 4, but hey, it ate a backstab as well, that's quite good.
And SI7's my face.
That feels like a bit of a waste doing that.
Yeah, it really does. But at least I can get a health from the Erdering Farseer.
Yeah.
I was considering Savage Shoring and Hero Powering because I value that card this low, but I guess that's not the best use of. Savage Shore.
Farseer and hit him in the face with, oh, you're going to make Dire Doggy as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should have just hit his face. I guess the idea was that if he can remove the 3/3 somehow without the SI7 agent, then he's got huge tempo.
Yeah.
Or it's a she. I'm not sure how to refer to female heroes in this game.
Well, it's Valera, isn't it? So.
Yeah. And he can backstab that. Oh, Betrayal. Betrayal is pretty weird here. Actually cast on the 2/2.
I guess
Because if you cast it on the 4/3, the doggy just dies and...
Well, I'm guessing this way he gets to keep his SI7 around, but you're going to kill it with your hero ability anyway.
Yeah.
So
I try to get the tempo by, delaying the shapeshifting for a turn.
yep, seems
Because
fine.
I can actually shapeshift and play Spiteful Smith or Kodo on turn 7.
Yeah, I mean, especially since our hand is expensive. Oh, and there's Assassinate.
Yeah, but still got the tempo, so... it was a 1-for-1 and it gave me the tempo, so that's pretty good.
I do feel like Rogue really needs Assassinate to be a good deck in Arena.
Well, either that or like a really good early game for tempo. Like, a couple of backstabs, couple of deadly poisons, and like, either scrubs or something else.
Hate to break it to you, Kodo can't kill Boulderfist Ogre.
Yeah, but I think I can Savage Shore here. I can Savage Shore and Hero Power to take the 6/7 out. I mean, I could also swipe and Savage Shore and then the 4/6 is intact. But I think that would be a little bit of a waste.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can't actually swipe Savage Shore and Hero Power, so that's not an option.
Yeah.
I think what I should do at this point is go for face. Yes, exactly what I did. Because then he has to attack into the 4/6.
Yeah.
And then I can swipe anything he plays next turn. So basically delaying the swipe.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's still not that bad. Yeah, he plays Arcane Golem. And now I 2-for-1 him.
Yeah.
So we swipe. And we're at even value. Well, he's got another card, but... Oh, and he went second, so we're not at even value. But he's got a value advantage and I've got a Kodo in hand and the Starfall, which both can lead to value lead. Oh, look at the Gnomish Inventor. How sad he's gonna die.
We're getting shivved.
Also, he should have Shift first to see what card he gets, or Gnomish Inventor, whichever one.
Yeah.
Oh no, because he wanted to play the Bomber. Then he should have just Shift first.
Yeah.
And obviously get rid of the 2/4. Yeah, but you can see that Savage Roar is such a bad card. Like, it's been in my hand from the start, and there was just no opportunity to play it whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't think we've got the right kind of deck for it either.
Yeah,
Like if you had something like an Imp Master or something like that, Savage Roar can be a beating.
yeah, or just a lot of early game removal, like kind of a quote-unquote rogue style deck.
Yeah.
Where you have a good early game and good early game removal, and then you have 4 minions on board by turn 5, and then you can Savage Roar to deal substantial damage.
Okay, he's just going to the bombs now, it looks like. So.
Yeah, and that's actually a pretty nice top deck, because I can take the 2/1 out for free.
Yep.
I'm at a pretty low health, so I don't mind not taking that 1 damage.
And resetting your Kodo is always nice as well.
Yeah.
And squelched.
Yeah.
You get 2, but not a 3rd. Lots of
And
Kodo.
you see that to Savage Roar? With Argus Savage Roar, that's 6, and 4 is 10. And yeah, I think he's dead from Defender of Argus Savage Roar.
Is he? That's 8, 10. And Savage Roar's +2. That's another 6.
Yeah, I'm calculating at the moment, so we'll see.
I think yeah, he is, because you hero power gives you 1 more attack, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yep, he's exactsies. Oh!
There goes the BM.
Oh, wow.
That's my general response when someone overuses an emote.
It's all because they don't give you a chat box.
No, I actually like not having the chat box, because, you know, I'm the kind of person that, even though I know, you know, it's just stupid and it's a game, etc., etc., I can be actually honestly frustrated when someone just, you know, does or says something for basically no reason.
Yeah,
So
I can't wait to see you play Hex in some of these tournaments where there's a chat box there. Well, I have
actually, Hex is a little different. And I decided to keep the Yeti, because that's a really good turn for, especially versus Rogue.
Yep.
Rogue is just so bad at with dealing with Yeti.
No, I mean, I think we've mentioned on a couple of occasions, Rogue tends to be quite bad at dealing with stuff which has high toughness.
Yeah, it basically has Assassinate, so...
You know, it either has to deal itself a load of damage, or it has to... you know, it either has to deal itself a load of damage, or it actually has to have Assassinate, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's why Rogue is really hard to play, is because you have to look out for your own health. Like, I've seen Rogue killing herself so many times.
I've done that. Like, not killed myself, but, like, had complete board control, and then my opponent attacks once and kills me, and I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, how did I get on to 9 life? I don't know how that happened. It's like, yeah, you killed everything using weapons, so you did 21 damage to yourself throughout the game.
Yeah. So here I said to coin into the Harvest Golem, because then, you know, she has to weapon up, and that wastes her turn 3.
Yeah, you've also got another Harvest Golem coming up as well.
Yeah, and obviously I have a turn 3 play. So
yeah, that worked out pretty well overall.
yeah.
Backup Harvest Golem.
It's just something that I was really struggling for a long time, you know, using the coin correctly, Like generally, I think people use the coin when they would have an empty turn otherwise,
Yeah.
and that's a really bad attitude towards things,
You should
because
really look at what's coming.
yeah,
If you've got to play for the next turn, then for example, if you've got 2/2 drops, then maybe you can use the coin. If you've not got, if you've got, like we had here, 2/3 drops, you can maybe coin on turn 2.
yeah.
But just coining out something because you have a 2-drop on your first turn tends to be wrong.
Yeah,
It's like your
and
opponent.
not just on the first turn, like coining into something because you don't have an actual play for that turn, or your play is really bad, might be a good idea sometimes, but not always.
You can occasionally use the coin to keep yourself ahead in tempo.
Yeah. Also, what I try to say here is that not using the coin because you have a play for this particular turn is also bad.
Yeah.
So, like, I had the Bloodsail Corsair in hand in turn 2, and that would have traded with the Fairy Dragon. So why didn't I play that? Well, because then if I play the Harvest Golem, I can waste his turn 3, give him a damaged weapon, and still an empty board. So that's a much better situation for me.
Yeah.
Even though I had a 2-drop that would have done basically the same. In terms of board, obviously.
Yeah. Stop it.
I didn't click the button. It was just for you guys.
Yep, post-combat abusive sergeant, so he can get his scrub going.
Yep.
This
Sadly, I have a
swipe looks really good right about now. Old 3-for-1 swipe.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm
Didn't
gonna
click
ban you from using emotes.
Yeah, I never use emotes basically outside of greeting and well played.
Yeah.
Because, I just don't.
I've used oops a couple of times, I've got to admit.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you just do that when you make an obviously bad play.
Yeah.
That just has to happen sometimes.
And this is one thing where I feel like many players can get a bit greedy here. Because they can go like, well, I've got 6 mana, so I should be using all of it. So maybe I should make that Rocketeer and hit him in the face for 5 while I can. It's like, well, you can still hit him in the face for 5 later, but you've got, this is a turn where you can build your superior board position.
Yeah.
Because the only way you can deal with Yeti, as we've already discussed, is either Assassinate or Assassin's Blade Deadly Poison. And both of those are going to be expensive, so you are still going to be able to use that Rocketeer.
Yeah, I guess he has to have an Assassinate in hand because on turn 6 he played nothing.
Ooh.
Oh, Preparation on 7 mana.
Preparation Deathwing, here it comes.
No, it's just for spells. Don't make the same mistake Rebo did.
Oh, did he?
Rebo picked Preparation because he thought it was a good card in one of his early videos.
Right,
And then realized spells are actually just spells and not all the cards.
Yeah. Wasn't that part of the Miracle Rogue deck or something? So speaking of Miracle Rogue...
Yep, that's a pretty scary sight. But I have the Frostally in hand, so that's gonna give me...
Oh, and you've even got Brewmaster to reset it as well, just for...
I don't have the mana for it next turn, but I have... If I'm in a really big trouble, I have Savage Shore to kill that off.
Yep.
The 8/8, and also to kill off the Rogue, if, I happen to get to 9 mana somehow and a good board position, because at 9 mana I can play Rocketeer Savage Shore.
God, I hate that 1/7.
And it gets Cold Blood. And that may have been a backstab.
Can't backstab the 2-2. Like, sorry to say. Has the feelings of a backstab, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we can Rocketeer.
I think I should Savage Roar here. No, I did Rocketeer, I did 2 for 1 myself. That's not that bad. And I just go face.
I mean, I take it he's going to kill your 5-5 this turn. If he doesn't, he's foolish. What?
Okay, that's a target for the Kodo.
Yep. Yeah. Correct move found, sir. Although it would be hilarious if he didn't attack it and then you just killed him with Savage Roar.
Yeah, but he's not that bad of a player.
Yep, seems fine doing it that way.
Yeah, although I'm considering...
I mean, the thing is, he's on such low life at the moment that he has to kill pretty much everything you play.
Yeah.
So I think that the way this is going is fine.
Yeah, the only thing is that the first time that he can remove something without a spell, or without using one of his minions, like, for example, this.
Ouch.
This is probably the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, that's a value betrayal right there.
Yep.
Especially with the Auctioneer on top of it as well. Wow.
So we're now in pretty deep trouble.
Yeah, that's bad. Okay, things went pretty badly there, rather quickly.
Yeah, I basically need a swipe here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm really, really dead.
Yeah, as opposed to just normally dead. It's like you're really dead.
Yeah.
Well.
Look at that, a swipe.
It still leaves the Auctioneer there, unless you want to Savage Roar to kill it this turn.
Yeah, I mean, the Auctioneer is a little bit of a pain, but since he has to kill everything I play, basically,
Yeah.
he has to have another spell in hand.
Yep. Although the Auctioneer has been drawing him quite nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're still on equal value, so...
True.
He doesn't know that I have Savage Roar in hand, which is, you know, a pretty valueless card. But...
Doesn't quite kill him yet.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, is there anything which can kill me from this one? It's like, yes, Starfire.
Does he Cold Blood his Force 3?
I'd do it on the 2-1, I think.
Yeah, definitely on the 2-1. Like, okay, you go for face now. What if I have a 5 damage spell?
Yeah.
Or like a Rocketeer or something?
Well, he's put everything on the table.
So,
I guess he's just relying on you not having a damage spell. Oh, or that.
oops. I guess I top decked him quite badly in this one, but...
You top deck good, sir.
Yeah, but he did as well. I mean, Edwin into 4-4 into 7-6. I don't feel that bad about it. And also he should have... I mean, if he's that ahead, he has 3 minions on board. Why the hell wouldn't you take the 3-3 out?
Yeah,
If he takes the 3-3 out and I top deck him with something amazing like Leroy, then I feel bad.
Yeah.
But this, I think, was a play mistake by him.
Yeah, I think that, the play for him there is to run his Auctioneer in.
Yeah.
Is to Cold Blood his 2-1 to make it 6-1, and then to Cold Blood his... then to ram his Auctioneer into your guy and make his 2 guys.
Yeah.
Because then you're still dead the next turn.
Yep.
And that way you don't have a way to kill him. You know,
Yeah, so it was a clear mistake by him. Like,
yeah.
if you can kill your opponent next turn anyway, you should go for the safest ever option that you have on the board.
I mean, he was dead to Starfire as well, so, you know, there were quite... You did have a... I mean, not that you had Starfire, but, you know, playing against a Druid, you should always consider that Starfire is something that's potentially there.
Or, you know, just a swipe. I think just a swipe kills
No,
him.
he was on 1 against a swipe.
Oh yeah, then swipe and something else. Either spell damage or like glow or anything. An Elven Archer kills him. So
yeah, seems like he took an unnecessary risk doing that.
Yeah. So playing Harvest Golem against a Priest, which is, you know, one of the worst cards against Priest.
Well, because it's Shadow Words.
No, because he can either nick it with Cable Shadow Priest, or he can nick it with Shadow Madness and then keep the 2/1 damaged golem.
Yeah. That's,
so I actually have to be aware of this and not play anything that can kill the golem. So I'm playing against my own board, which is pretty silly, but that's what Shadow Madness does. So that's a pretty good top deck because, you know.
Is Shadow Madness epic or rare?
Rare, it's rare as well. I don't generally play around epic cards, but I think you have to play around rare cards.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to play around commons.
Yeah, I mean,
So
of course.
like, you know, but I think that once you start getting into rare and epic territory, you end up like almost trying to play around everything, and I don't think that you can do that.
Yeah, you definitely can't.
That's probably...
I think I can try and risk the 5/4. If he has a Shadow over Death, that's not a huge issue, since I can he attacks into one of the golems. I can take the 2/1 out, take the Yeti out with the 2/1, and then hero power. So, you know, even if he has a Shadow over Death, he can't do anything this turn. He can heal the Yeti back up, which is pretty weird or pretty bad for me. But
well, there's Shadow Word Death.
Yep. But I think it's still better than wasting a Starfall on it. Like, Starfall is a little bit too strong to waste on a Yeti. And he actually heals himself, which is pretty silly.
And goes for face.
Yeah.
Well, now for the worst taunt. I think we're still okay in this situation. We're way down on cards, but I think it is just a place where we have to...
Yeah, but I signaled that this was a mistake. I'm not sure why. Oh, I guess because he can heal it back up, so basically the 2/2 is a free value for him.
Yeah.
But he still wastes his turn, so I'm fine with that. Now it's really interesting that he didn't play any other minions so far.
Well, there's Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
How awkward.
And now I can keep the Starfire for longer.
Yeah. Oh, how embarrassing for the Yeti.
Yep. The only problem here is that I'm super weak to Holy Nova.
Yeah.
And he probably has it since he didn't play a minion, basically.
Well, since he's got game. Since he's got what, 9 cards in hand?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I still have something on board.
Yeah, like 2 cards versus 8.
And he has a Shadow Word, so...
Yeah, this is when a priest actually does good things.
And I drew Kodo, and I have Cult Master, the 2 cards that can get me back into the game.
Yeah, true.
So...
And 2 of those cards are from your deck as well, aren't they, with Thoughtsteel?
Yeah.
Still not a fan of that card.
It's actually not that bad.
I I think it's worse than Arcane Intellect, isn't it? Surely. It's like, unless your opponent's deck's better than yours, at which point you're already in a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that, you know, if you're a...
Well, if your opponent's deck is good, see, he got a Kodo from me. That's pretty good. But if your opponent's deck is good, then you get good cards generally, and if your opponent's deck is bad, you beat it anyway. So I don't think it's that bad. It's not the best. It's not the best cards, but it actually doesn't make your deck thinner.
It's one of those things where I always consider it in the way of at least Arcane Intellect lets you dig for things. You know, it's like if you're a mage, you can dig for a flame strike or a blizzard or something like that. Thought Steal doesn't let you dig for anything. All it does is just make you hope your opponent has something that your deck can't deal with. You know,
however, that gives you information on your opponent's deck. That's one thing, and the other is that I think fatigue or running out of cards is a much bigger issue in this game than in like Magic or Hex.
Oh no, running out of cards in Magic or Hex is huge because at least in Hearthstone, you know that you're going to top deck something next turn. In Magic or Hex, it's infinitely possible that you're going to top deck absolutely nothing. And
that's true.
I mean, we kind of have this discussion when we talk about Hex and Magic in those two games. Cards like Arcane Intellect or, you know, the equivalent go up a lot in value because you have to fuel your own deck, basically.
Yeah.
This feels like Holy Fire, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was that to it anyway, so...
Yeah. Whereas, you know, in Hearthstone, you don't have to fuel your own deck because what's limiting you is going to be your mana. Yeah. So, you know, if you cast like Arcane Intellect or Thought Steal or whatever on turn 3, you're not going to be able to... The likelihood is you're not going to be able to cast both of those cards the next turn. So what you're worried about is tempo loss on that front. Whereas in Magic the Gathering or in Hex, you're often going to cast Oracle Song or Divination, you know, same card, basically. You're often going to cast those cards on turn 3 because you're either digging for a land or you're digging for a specific answer to a certain situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the two games, I mean, I've kind of come to learn this through playing it. The two games are just, they might as well be in different galaxies. You know,
it's definitely
completely different.
And where is the WoW TCG on that? You know, scale.
Well, it's dead, isn't it? That's one place where it is. The WoW TCG on that scale is different. I'd say it's different to both of them.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that in the WoW TCG, you would play a 60-card deck like you would in Magic or in... I think it was 60 cards anyway. Ribbo will probably correct me, or Lee. I think Lee played a lot of the WoW TCG. And you played a 60-card deck, but to make a quote-unquote resource, what you could do at that point was you could put any card in your hand face... Ouch. You could put any card in your hand face down, and that would be that would count as a resource. So you could never be quote-unquote resource screwed.
Yeah.
But again, for the same reason that you have to lay resources every turn, or up to a certain point, you can always choose not to. But because you have to lay resources every turn, having more cards in hand, having more cards in your hand is better, because that means you have more resources and you have more. That means you can cast more spells, essentially.
Yeah.
So Hearthstone is different on that, you know, on that front, because Are we? Yeah, we're probably looking at a swipe here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's definitely a swipe.
So Hearthstone is different on that front because you are always going to have something in your hand. You know, you're never going to be doing what you will be doing certainly in Magic the Gathering. Wow, nice miss, Bomber. You know, you're never going to have the same situation you do in Magic, where in Magic you can often be holding 4 cards and they're all land, and you're literally just bluffing that you have something in your hand.
Yeah.
Whereas in Hex that doesn't apply so much because there's actually an advantage to laying land. You know, because of the charge system, there is actually an advantage to making land. And in Hearthstone, it's still not going to be on that sort of level because you just have something in your hand. You know,
Yeah,
if someone
you don't have lands.
yeah, if someone's passing on turn 10, that's generally because they have a removal spell in hand and no target.
Yeah. That's a pretty nice top deck.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, is it really?
Although I think I should probably just clear the 5/5 with the Dark Iron Dwarf and Hero Power.
I mean, the 4/2 can be potentially irritating here.
Yeah, it can be, but every one of my minions kill it.
Yeah,
While the 5/5 gets me 2 for 1, possibly.
yeah, that's very true.
So even the 2/1 damaged golem kills the 4/2, so...
Yeah. I mean, he gets to take out your Dark Iron Dwarf here, I think. But unless he is just going straight for your face.
Yeah. Yeah, but face would be pretty interesting here because, you know, if he can't back the 4/2 up well, and it looks like he can't from the 3 cards, then you know it's.
Although I will say something on those cards that allow you to draw cards from a priest. I think Mind Vision actually might not be that terrible.
I think Mind Vision is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, because there's actually a card in Magic the Gathering called Gitaxian Probe, and there's another one called Peak. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's too good.
Yeah. And what it does...
What? Yeah.
That's a really weird attack.
He had Consecration, so he decided to clear 2 of my guys.
Yeah.
And you know the 4/2 still dies to everything.
True. That wasn't a bad top deck either. But, no, Mind Vision is fine. At least I think it's fine. There's a card in Magic the Gathering called Peak, or Gitaxian Probe. And what it allows you to do is look at your opponent's hand and draw a card.
Yeah.
And obviously Mind Vision is sort of better than that. You don't get to look at your opponent's entire hand, but you still get information from your on what your opponent has actually in hand, which is more valuable than what he has in his deck. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot more valuable because you can structure your plays around it. And the second thing, of course, of that is that it costs 1, not 3. You know, there's very little that you're often going to want to do with your turn 1. You know, the creatures that you can put on 1 generally aren't that good. So, I actually think that it's completely fine to... you know, oh, nice draw again. It's like I think it's Mind Vision is actually fine under those circumstances.
Yeah. Sorry to bother you, but I actually screwed this turn up. I should have enraged the Worgen with the 1/1 rather than kill his own 1/1. Because I would have took less damage. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But you know, that's story. I think Mind Vision is okay. It's that fact that it costs 3 mana in Hearthstone for me, and like 3 mana is that time for me when you should be developing your board presence.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not a turn 3 play. It's not a good turn 3 play.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely. I shouldn't waste a swipe here. Should I? Oh, I could swipe face, but...
It depends how concerned you are about your life total. But you could just make Kodo here, kill his 2/2, attack him for 4.
Yeah, and actually it's a better removal, and you know, on 10 life he can't really do anything, like even a true silver is just 8 damage.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can potentially have here is that, I mean, obviously you could have Deathwing or whatever, but, you know, I don't think you're beating that anyway. And here's the downside of Blessing of Kings. Blessing of Kings only really works when you have tempo. It's like when you don't have the tempo on your side, Blessing of Kings really doesn't work, because you're investing 2 cards into a guy.
Yeah. And he
I'd have been tempted to be super greedy there.
Nah, I don't think that's a good option.
Well, I would have been tempted to swipe face and then put the Kodo in, but that would have been, yeah, as I said, it's super greedy. It's not that. It's not very good either. But it's like the swipe being in your hand is worth a lot more than killing one guy at the moment.
And I have Savage Shore, and I think that's that with swipe to the face is good enough.
Yep. So no, we didn't pay too much attention to the game in this on this side, but I think that, you know, we kind of had a bit more of a discussion about how card draw sort of reacts in this. I often think that, at least I don't know how much you agree with this, I actually think that many players in Hearthstone don't, I'm probably one of them, you know, I haven't exactly played the game for long. I think that many players are actually really, really sort of constricted by the casting cost in the top left-hand corner of that card.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, for example, for me, the biggest one would probably be Earth Elemental recently. Where, you know, alright, it has 5 in the top left-hand corner, but you've really got to think before you play it.
Yeah, but that has to do with the overload mechanism, right?
It does have to do with the overload mechanism for sure, but, you know, the ones that it really applies to are things like Arcane Intellect. Well, Arcane Intellect is not a 3-drop. It's like you play Arcane Intellect on like turn 6 or 7 if you've not got a Flame Strike. You know, it's, you basically play it when there's a gap in the action, but again, similar to sort of the whole Sap and Frost Shock and things like that idea, it's a card which gets you, which keeps you ahead. You know,
yeah, it gets you away. It's a 2-for-1 by definition.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything crazy to make it a 2-for-1. It's just a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
And the same with Thought Steal. That's why I don't hate that card so much.
I mean, that's true, but again, Hearthstone for... This is where you get the big sort of tempo versus value argument.
Yeah.
You know, it's like... Because, you know, the reason the Hunter deck is so successful and constructed is not because of the way it gets value. You know, it's because of the way that it's so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's constructed and not arena. I think value in arena is far more important. I decided against ratting for 1 and coining into hero power here because that would have been, you know, I think a misuse of wrath. Like I see a lot of players using wrath to deal 1 damage and draw a card, but I think that's a misuse. That should be a 2-mana spell for 3 damage.
Well, it's good value, quote unquote, isn't it?
Yeah. Since I can deal with his board, I think just playing this 3-5 is fine.
Yeah, seems fine.
But I could have dealt with this board. I probably should have with Wrath and Hero Power. I was a little bit greedy here because I had the coin in hand and the Wrath in hand.
And True Silver does what True Silver does.
Yeah. It's always a pain.
Yeah.
And now I realize I should have... No, I don't even realize I should have Wrath. But at least it, you know...
I mean, the way you're making high toughness guys generally means that the True Silver is just helping his guys kill yours.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's not actually getting a huge amount of value out of it. You know, he's obviously getting some because he's killing your guys, and he's trading. He's getting some because he's trading upwards. You know, but good use of Crazed Alchemist and another True Silver champion.
And Swipe is not that good here.
No, Geomancer
I think
Swipe
it's
is amazing.
Yeah. But now I use red.
Yeah.
That I should have done 2 turns ago, probably.
But at least we've got our guy on the board. I mean, he does have 2 true silvers, which is a bit yucky, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of discovered this a while back. It's like, true silver on its own doesn't get the job done. You do need board position to go with it. I mean, if all he can do now
Or
is
bet
go...
minions on the other
Yeah.
guy's hand, because, you know, actually a lot of minions die to true silver.
Yeah.
So you have to have 5 toughness guys. That's the other thing. Like 5 or higher toughness guys are really good against, you know, the 2 most OP classes, the Paladin and the Mage. So
But the
that's
other
why
thing
you
there
pick them
is
all the
it's like,
time.
again, he had true silver there, and he followed it up with a recruit and putting a divine shield on it. You know, that's not enough. You know, you need to follow it up a lot better than that.
Yeah, but what can you do when your whole hand is true silver champions?
Yeah, I mean, that's always a slight problem, but you know. I mean, all that true silver champion did was deal 8 to us and draw and gain 4 life.
Yeah.
Which is still fine. Oh, he's got a third one.
But he has a third one.
I see, yeah.
And he put Blessing of Wisdom on this 3/5, which is a really interesting tactic, and that's why I love Blessing of Wisdom.
Because you can just make it so your opponent goes, I really don't want to attack with my guy.
Yeah. So it basically makes them into a ancient watcher.
You know what the worst thing is? I got caught out by this. You guys can actually see this in a video of one of the early videos that I did on Paladin. I think I mind controlled a guy who had Blessing of Wisdom on it. Now,
And they still do to him, right?
yes. Now in Magic the Gathering, that's not how it happens. You know, you get all effects when it comes to when it comes down to Magic the Gathering. And like I think Ribbo was quite. I don't know. He wasn't as experienced in the game as he is now, and we both just went, okay, we can attack now, and like we just see cards going to him, and we're like, what? That's not how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, but I think it's worded that way. So like its owner or something like that, or not its owner. I'm not sure, but I know there was a debate about it. So yeah, I just decided, oh no, I should have cleared the 1/1.
But basically, guys, you're gonna have to get used to this because it's like it's the same for me because obviously coming from a Magic the Gathering background, I like when I first played Hex, I was like, oh, I really recognize this. And then it was like, but certain things work differently, so therefore you can't assign the same card values.
Yeah.
And you know that's a big thing. I think that when you're sort of crossovering collectible card games, you really can. You know, it's really something that you can do, is that you can misassign card values because that you're used to them being so good in a different game.
Yeah.
And if you want to come back to it, card drawing, you know, it's worth a lot more it's worth a lot. Its value is a lot different in a game like this than it is in a game like Hex or Magic.
Now that is a really interesting turn here because I could swipe and hero power, but that puts me down to a really low health.
Yeah.
And he has was at 19 damage on board.
Something like that, yes.
So I actually, and you know, even if I make Booty Babe Bodyguard, if he has a way to deal with it.
Well, he's got his sword, hasn't he? So that deals with that.
Yeah, but if he uses his sword, he can't actually kill me this turn, I think. Well, I mean, if I attack something with the ogre, which I definitely will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I decided to swipe down that one guy, which was kind of the weakest of them all.
Yep, you're still dead to his sword. Now you're not. Okay.
No, I'm not dead to his sword.
You were at that point before you made the Booty Bait Bodyguard.
No, I wasn't. I have 15 health and he had 12 attack.
No, you attacked into his Kodo while I was saying that. If you didn't attack into his Kodo, you...
Oh yeah, definitely, but I mean, I'm...
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to punch your Booty Bay Bodyguard. He's actually dead to Savage Roar, isn't he? Unless he kills your Booty
Yeah,
Bay?
and at this point he really should trade with the 8-4. And that's something that a lot of players
A
misplay.
fourth true silver champion. Wow, he actually... Oh, boy.
Yeah, and that was a really big mistake.
Here's the hint, people. Will you please, when you're on low life and your opponent has a creature in play, kill it?
And also when you win next turn either way. Like, if
did
he
he?
clears my board, he has lethal on board.
Oh, yeah, because he had the...
Not because I can give myself one shield, but even then, he is in a winning position.
Yeah, he had and he did have the fourth true silver as well. So over 2 turns, you were still dead.
Yeah. So, and he just decided to go for it.
But again, it's the old adage, isn't it? It's one of the questions that you should be asking yourself when you're... I mean, because he was pretty far ahead there. Let's not be, let's not beat around the bush. He was pretty far ahead there. So, when you are in that position where you're pretty far ahead, the question you should be asking yourself at that point is, okay, how do I lose this game? It's like, what can my opponent do so that I lose this game? And in that position, you should know, well, Savage Roar kills me, Starfire kills me.
I think even Dark Iron Dwarf.
Even Dark Iron Dwarf killed him, I think, at that point as well. So, there were so many ways he could have died, and all you're trying to do is... and all you're doing with your attack is buying, like, potentially 1 extra turn. So it's just not worth it in so many circumstances.
Yeah.
So, really have to... I mean, I've fallen victim to that in a UK National semi-final. Not just being completely ahead on board and just giving my opponent a chance to win.
Yeah, that's...
So, it's like, it's not something... We've all done it, but sometimes you have to... sometimes you just have to think about it and just say, okay, how is it possible that I lose from this point?
Yeah.
We get to see some pretty awesome. We might get to see some pretty awesome bugs from you, might on the release of Hearthstone, at least.
I actually haven't met with any of the bugs.
You haven't had the hunter wanting to give you a hug or anything like that yet?
No, not yet, at least.
The one that I found that's been really common when I've played has been the floating creature.
Yeah, I had that, but that's a common bug.
Wow, that felt like a that felt like the worst swipe ever, pretty much. But
yeah, but that's what you get when you have a handful of spells. Because basically in my opening hand I had a Cult Master.
Yeah.
As a minion. And now we bait out a Fireball or a Polymorph with the 5/4.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I mean, if he runs his Tiger into you here, you just go, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, if he runs his Tiger into Booty Bay Bodyguard, you're just like, get in at that point.
Yeah.
Are you thinking like Frost Elemental for this turn, or do you want to kill his creature, do you think?
I think the problem with Frost Elemental, which I'm obviously going to do now, the problem with Frost Elemental is that I actually don't have a good play on turn 7. So like I still have to Starfall it, but I can just hero power after that, or Dire Toki, which is pretty useless in this situation. So what am I going to do on turn 7 that has the benefit?
Yeah.
Over just Starfiring turn 6 or Starfalling, sorry.
Well, you could Kodo his Mana Worm here, but then he kills your guy with a Tiger.
Yeah. I just have to hope he doesn't have a spell to buff the 2/3, and then I can kill it with the Kodo next turn.
Pretty big hope.
No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that because if he has a Frostbolt or even Arcane Missiles or something like that, then he's gonna buff the 2/3.
Yeah.
I guess I was just too afraid losing board position, but...
That'll be a conversation that we can certainly have at some point, is basically, what is, when should you, or should you indeed ever be willing to give up board, just literally give up board position? See,
Yeah,
this is a good arcane intellect.
Yeah, especially with the mana worm on board.
Yeah, and the
Now
fact
he can.
and the fact it's turn 8.
Yeah, so this is looking pretty bad right now. Even though I have a Yeti in hand and
Well,
all
that made it look a bit better.
yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Good, you actually got the Violet Teacher down before you. I mean, I don't know how much difference it's going to make because 1/1s generally don't survive very long against mages.
Yeah, that's true, but I still kind of waste his mana. Like if he has 2 Yetis in hand now, he can play both, but then the 1/1 survives, and then I can do all kind of nasty stuff with it. So
You going to ping Flame Strike? Oh no,
no, but I think he's suggesting that he has Flame Strike,
he's definitely suggesting he has it.
but that's not that big of an issue since I have Card Master and then the Kodo.
Yeah.
So I can actually get value from the 1/1 just by sacrificing it.
Which is a rarity against a mage for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I basically 3/4 him with the Violet Teacher, which is pretty good.
I mean, if he's got Flame Strike now, he probably casts it. He can take
Yeah, I
out
think.
both
I
your
mean, it
guys,
depends
yeah.
if he can deal with the Force too, because the 3/5 is actually not that threatening.
Yeah, that's true.
If he has a Frostbolt or something, he may choose to save on like his 1 Flame Strike in the deck. But if he can deal with the 4/2, then he has to Flame Strike here, or she, or whatever. He'll have to excuse me for the not proper use of these words. We don't have these in Hungarian, so we have one word for he and she. So, and there's your Flame Strike.
Yeah.
It's still a 2/1. So, but I'm ahead on value and I'm ahead on tempo. So, you know, not complaining. It's a good question if we want to overcommit here or not.
In case he has a second Flame Strike.
Yeah. The fact that he took so much time to play that Flame Strike makes me think he doesn't have another one.
Yeah.
But, you know, you never know. And even Blizzard is bad for me. So...
Yeah. I mean, what's she used so far? 2 Fireballs and 1 Flame Strike, and has there been a Frostbolt? I don't think so.
No,
yet.
no, there was no Frostbolt.
Uh-oh. Azure Drake's a scary thing from a mage.
Yeah, but he can't cast anything really good after it. So, like, no Blizzards, no Flame Strikes.
Yeah.
You know, Fireball, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 6 or 7, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he just puts it back to his hand, so he used the 5 mana draw a card spell.
Yeah, that seems
Which
not
is
very good.
pretty silly. Yeah. So, yeah, I decided to.
I mean, this way potentially gets you a couple of points closer to Pyroblast, but it still puts you, like, way ahead on board.
Yeah. And, you know, actually I have a Savage Roar in my deck, and, you know, since, I don't know, maybe we have like 15 cards in the deck, I actually have a decent chance of throwing it.
Yeah. By decent, we mean over 5%.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah, but it's always a possibility to, you know, just throw it and the game
win.
right here.
Yeah, yeah.
And also the what's even more important is if he has another Flame Strike, my board is not empty.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, that's one thing. If you can do that, you should definitely do that.
Yeah. I
And,
mean, he's
you know,
drawing cards here, but he's not really doing much to affect our board.
yeah, so I'm in a definite value disadvantage, but
Yeah.
we just have to hope that the board position will carry us.
Yeah.
And he plays Argus, which is, I think, really bad. Because, he should have been something. And
Ooh.
there's that Savage.
Oh boy.
You won't believe me if I tell you that I didn't remember that, right?
Does that kill him, or is it? I mean, it's got to be close, right?
If I remember correctly, it does.
Got to be close. I mean, Rocketeer is 7. You've got to use. Rocketeer's 7, 13, 15, 19, 20. So it gives you 24, but I think that you have to get through the Azure Drake as well. So, I don't know if you've got 9, 11, 15.
Yeah, but I can get through with Elven Archer and my hero perfectly.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
that's
thinking.
even. Or, yeah.
And then it's
that's
23,
exact.
23 through your guys, yeah.
Yeah. So. That was a pretty sick.
That was a pretty sick ending to that game, yeah.
So I've been top decking really nicely in this.
I think that's
this
pretty much
arena.
how this deck gets to 7 wins, right? I mean, it's not like...
And also my opponents being bad. So, we pointed out a couple of mistakes in a couple of different games that were like really bad mistakes.
Yeah, it's like your opponents twice have basically chosen to commit suicide.
Yeah. And also in this last game, it's just such a huge tempo loss to play the Azure Drake and draw it back right away.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, I just think it's so much better that... I mean, I don't know if he drew the Brewmaster or not, but it's like, if he had the Brewmaster in hand, he should have just made Brewmaster Azure Drake.
Yeah. And, it still gets value because the Azure Drake, by definition, gets value.
Yeah.
So, and, he was too obsessed with value, basically, and that's what lost him the game.
You guys all remember that from... Awesome! Like, you guys all remember that from... I think it was my last video, actually, where it was like, being obsessed with value, I kind of pulled back a Fire Elemental. It's like, Fire Elemental's a 6/5. Just beat your opponent up with it. Bounce it back maybe a bit later.
Yeah.
Or if you don't...
Yeah, it can also get double value by, you hit another guy and then brew it back.
Yeah.
And then, it's just pain for the opponent.
Well, that's a pretty good start for us, at least. When you're at 7 wins, you do like seeing a footman from your opponents.
Yeah, definitely. Although that's a two-sided thing, because on the other hand, I'm pretty afraid that he might have some really OP stuff like Tyrion or something that I can't deal with at all.
Well, if he's at 7 wins and he's making footman, yeah, then...
And Ironforge Rifleman and all that.
Yeah. It's like
it's
he's either really good or he's got a really powerful deck.
Yeah. Or just, 7 Argent Protectors.
That too.
And end of the game.
I mean, he's not made a good card yet, I don't think.
Well, he made a recruit. That's not that bad. And I'm in a huge value advantage at this point.
Yeah.
Like, turn 5, I'm ahead 1 card. And, I'm on the draw, so...
And you've got good cards in hand.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a good card.
Yep. So...
We could freeze his knight. He'd beat up his squire as well. And
Yeah, I decided to do that because I want to keep the value advantage. And that's I think the only way I can do that.
this is the point where we go, please don't have Blood Knight. Yeah.
How unlucky that I have a Starfall.
Yep.
So that's a 1/4
Yeah, pretty much. Or you could freeze it and then, yeah.
Yeah, and I decided to just keep his minion or his 1/1 off the board.
Yeah.
Like if he has consecration, well played. But even then I can use swipe on the 8/8.
Yep. Could have true silver as well, which would be a problem.
Yeah, but not a huge issue.
Yeah.
And he overcommits into swipe, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at that, I can freeze the 8/8 again.
Oh, such tempo.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the main reasons I absolutely love Frost Elemental. I think I like it a lot more than I probably should do.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's a nice top deck. You know, it's like I just think that it's such a beating. It just gives you that lockdown against, because like so many guys for me play that you know, the whole giant minion game in Arena, and you know, something like a Sunwalker or something, you know, not Sun, yeah, Sunwalker, isn't it? The 4/5 with taunt, you know, things like that. It's just you know, or something like that. It's just the ability to hold it down. It's a bit unfortunate we had to sacrifice our guy there, but
Yeah, he actually gained value from the true silver. Like that's a big surprise.
yeah, I am shocked and appalled at this revelation that someone gained value off a true silver champion.
Yeah. And I decided to go a little bit greedy here.
Yeah.
I think that was actually just a misplay. I miscalculated my mana. So I basically pulled what the last mage pulled, just with you know, getting 3 health.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was actually me miscalculating 4 plus 3 plus 3. That's the most likely explanation.
Maths is hard.
Yeah, adding up is too difficult. And now I hope that he overcommits into Starfall. That would be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's not overcommitting. It's just making a guy.
Yeah.
Well, you
but that's a good top deck for Starfall,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can
can just
clear
kill.
the board. So it was basically a Starfall for an Elven Archer.
Yeah.
Just to put it in perspective.
Powerful stuff. Oh boy.
And that looks really bad. Although I'm not sure why he played the Worgen when I can hero power next turn and kill the Worgen for free now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's kind of like you said. He has to have something.
And yeah, there it is. I should buff them with Argus and hero power and no, I should actually take out Baron Geddon. Defender of Argus, and take out the Baron Geddon, because he can use the Wind Fury on the 4/1 then.
Yeah.
Unless he has another true silver or something, which would be sad.
That'll be sad times, yeah. But yeah, as you said, he had to have something.
Yep, he did. That's actually like a really big tell on that, you know, what quality minions your opponent plays at like 7+ wins.
Yeah.
Because you can sometimes really tell. Like, there was this game where I played around Deathwing. Not because, you know, I had the luxury to do so, but because the guy had such an awful deck and was at like 10 wins.
Yeah.
And I said that, you know, this guy can't have can't have 10 wins with such a bad deck. So
Yeah, he's got to
he
have
must
depth.
have Deathwing or something like that, or Ysera, or all that. And I think I kept Assassinate for it, and then he played Deathwing. So I was correct on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually a really big town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good top deck.
Well, now we're into an off-the-top war.
Yeah, he's actually up 1 in value, which is pretty bad, and also he can make the recruits, so
Yeah.
he's gonna use my hero power every turn to kill those off. And the Stormwind and the Bloodsail Corsair, so
Yeah.
another really good minion.
Yeah. Roadblock, go.
Actually not that bad, because I can take the 2/5 out next turn with the Harvest Golem and the hero power.
Yep.
Although it leaves the 1/1 on board, which is sad, but...
Sad times.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it really comes down to top decking. Like, if I top deck my Boiler Fist Ogre, I'm probably the favorite.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, that's alright. Running Dark Iron Dwarfs, always good. It's like there's a quote for the material that we... there's a quote for the material that we're going to do. Top decking Running Dark Iron Dwarfs, not bad, Maddy. Oh well.
And he top decked me, so... Argent Protector in this situation is just awesome. No, not that one. The 3/3. You have to kill the 3/3. Yep.
Okay. Let's see what he's got. Blessing of Kings for the win.
Or True Silver.
Yep.
One shot,
Not Elven Archer, though.
Not Elven Arch, you know.
Although it's not that bad in this situation, because it's like 1 extra damage every turn.
Yep.
Because he got to keep the recruit.
Yep.
instruction begins.
And definitely killing the archer in case he has Brewmasters.
Yep.
So now I'm on 4 life, basically a consecration kills me.
Yep. Hammer of Wrath, Consecration are now lethal. Oh god, that's
Ancient
gonna be
Mages.
so embarrassing.
Yeah, I have to deal with his whole board, basically.
Oh, so lucky.
Oh.
So lucky.
Although Swipe would have done it, honestly.
Yeah, true. Still dead to anything.
And also expecting some pretty big BS, because, all the minions he played were really bad.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at that, a second legendary. Although that's admittedly not the best.
Oh, Claw gives you a 1/1.
Instruction begins.
Yeah, I screwed this up. I should have played Claw first.
Yeah. I
Didn't
think
really matter.
you just realised it there, right?
Yeah,
But-
probably.
But I mean, it gives you an extra couple of armor there, so
Yeah, basically that's what I was using the Claw for, is just extra health at this point. And now I have to hope for a really bad top deck on his part, but
that's not a really bad.
that's not a really bad top deck, yeah. And Kodo is not that bad here.
No. So it looks like 7 wins is your lot. And you commit suicide in the correct way.
That's the honourable one.
So yeah, it got done by overly powerful minions there, I think. But
yeah, but actually, I'm pretty proud I got to 7 wins with this deck because this deck was awful.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like, you know, it had pretty good spells, but the minion quality was like subpar.
Yeah.
So,
155 gold just cause.
well, I mean, it's 7 wins. You shouldn't get a lot more than 150.
I think I'm averaging more for 9 wins than 11 at the moment.
Yeah.
And you get some pretty awful cards to wrap it all up. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this arena. Maddy takes a fairly average Druid deck to 7 wins. And, of course, if he'd have picked up Pally or Mage, well, things might have been different. But, you know, that's what you get for picking up Druid. So, any final things before we shut off, Maddy?
Nope, not really.
Okay, guys. Apart from to say screw mages, probably. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
but that's obvious.
Okay, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.